Hey everyone, so I'm going to show you a bunch of Project Life cards that I decided to make up, and some I just did and some were based on sketches, so I'm just going to walk you through it real quick. So this was based off of a sketch, and I think it was actually a card sketch, but I just really liked the design of it, like the sunburst pattern, so I painted in some very faint lines, and they weren't quite faint enough, and it's very hard to erase them after the watercolor's done. So my recommendation would be to do the lines super, super light, um, or just freehand it, which I kind of wish I did. But anyway, so I just filled in the lines with watercolors, and I didn't really choose the color scheme at all. I mean, these were all just random things that I just wanted to have in my stash for when I needed a go-to card. And I really liked doing this, and I plan on doing it a lot in the future. So, to start out, I basically just went through my stash of 4x6 and 3x4 cards, and I just pulled out a bunch that I felt I really liked or could use embellishing or could use changing in some way for me to like them and use them. And this happened to be a good one because there was a blank space and it worked with the sketch. So that's basically why I chose this card. And I've already used it actually. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I really like the way it turned out. So like you can see, I just pulled out a ton, and all those little cards that are blank or just have grids on the back, I save those because you never know when they're going to come in handy. So, and I just pulled out a thick stash of them, and then I kind of went through them with every card that I wanted to make, and that just worked out. You know, I could just flip through and see what worked with what colors worked, and yeah, so anyway. So that is a printable from the South of Market collection from Studio Calico, and those printables are actually free. They weren't my favorite printables in the whole world or anything, but if it's free, you might as well, because there was like a couple things that I liked, and I ended up using this tag in a different way than I thought. And I had also pulled out a bunch of stamps, different stamp sets that I wanted to use or that I hadn't seen in a while, because I feel like putting them away, you forget to use some of them, or you forget that you have them because there's so many stamps out there. So I like to pull all of them out and go through them and decide what should I make with this stamp set, and then hopefully that refreshes my memory for the future. So there you can see I was really looking for some inspiration on this card. The sketch was just, I could not figure out where the inspiration was coming from on this layout. So I basically, I think, ended up just winging it because I had no idea what it was based on. And I know a lot of them are done two at a time. So I guess I just skipped that one now that I look at it. Sorry guys, I made this video like probably 2 weeks ago, and I just hadn't had time to get it uploaded and everything else because, like I said, we moved, so I've forgotten some of it. So this is from the Pink Paisley Color Wash collection, and that was one of my favorite collections recently, from Pink Paisley. I think it came out like last fall or maybe last summer, but I really like that whole collection, and I like some of Pink Paisley's new stuff too, so I'm going to have to watch my budget because there's a lot of things that I want lately. So both of those came from that stamp set, and I didn't entirely love the way this card turned out, but I kept it pretty simple. Just says happy, and then I put the little hashtag symbol under there. And then I was going to write in there something, but I was like, no, just leave it blank because you don't know where you might use that at, so you might want a different phrase in the little hashtag. So sorry guys, I should have edited it out where you can see me cleaning the stamps. But a lot of these, I just wanted to try different techniques, or I just had an idea in my head. And one of the things is that I had seen like a blog post about this stamp set and different ways that people had used it. So this was from the Studio Calico kit in April, and I just decided to go with it and see what I could make with it. And I had a hard time getting this to fit in there. I knew it was supposed to fit, but I couldn't figure out how. So I moved on to something else, and then I got it figured out what fits where. But I really liked this So Loved stamp in that same Studio Calico set. I like the scriptiness, and I like just everything about it, honestly. I really like the word. So there I'm stamping the bigger triangle, and I'm thinking, well, maybe that's where the words fit, but I just had to play around with it. And I think that So Loved is very versatile. Like, you can use that on so many layouts and so many Project Life cards. So here I have a couple of chevron pieces from my wood veneer collection, and I just put those on there because I figured that could be great to put in a 3x4 slot and point up to like a 4x6 card and saying, oh, this one is So Loved. So I did pull out a lot of different colors of ink because I wanted to try just doing a lot of different colors, because I don't know where I'll use these cards at. I just wanted to have them made up. Something that was a little bit more embellished than the regular quote cards that come in like the Becky Higgins kits. I wanted something that was a little more personalized, a little more embellished, and just had some different ideas. So that UR was actually, it's going to be a journaling card saying like, you are this and that and this and that. So that's where I kind of went with that one. And I haven't used it yet, but that was my idea going into it. So here, like I said, I pulled out a bunch of my distress inks, and I wanted to make kind of this like tumble down triangle card. And as you can see there, I kind of got distracted, and I was working on so many cards at once and had so many ideas that I kind of kept going back and forth. But I used the distress inks, and this is one of the cards that like come in your kit that say, oh, this is the Camelot kit, or this is the Office Hours kit. So the back of it, the distress inks like sat on top of it. So this took probably close to 24 hours to dry because I didn't want to use the heat gun because I was afraid that would like warp it too much. But in the end, I really liked the way this card came out. It kind of had like a marbled looking effect on the triangles, and I don't know, it just came out really cool looking, and I can't wait to use this one. I'm thinking it'll probably be a title card. And my triangles didn't come out like as tumbled looking as I wanted them to, so I'm probably going to try to make this one again and do something different, maybe a different color scheme, or a different style. But here I did use the heat gun a little bit, but really I just let it air dry for the most part. So this is one of the stamps that I had gotten on Black Friday. Studio Calico had a bunch of their kits for I think like $5 and $10 a piece. I can't even remember. It was an awesome deal, and I ended up buying a lot. But I really liked this little squiggly stamp, and I've wanted to use it ever since, but I was never sure what to use it on, but I knew I had to break it out for this little Project Life card session. So you'll see me use that here in just a minute. So this was kind of, everything was inspired by different things. Some I had ideas for from the internet. Some I wanted to use a stamp set. All these cut apart pages, I pulled out of my like Amy Tangerine and Dear Lizzie 6x6 paper pads, and they're so small that you can't really use them. Obviously they're a Project Life size card, but they've been shrunk down to fit in that 6x6 pad, so you can't use them traditionally. So I really like to make mini Project Life cards out of these, and it works really well. So that's just what I did with that one, and it's really easy to just cut apart, and it's easy to use those pages up on a smaller format like that, because then you still get the saying, or you still get the graphic and the design. So yeah, anyway, and I didn't really show it on camera there, but I have my own mist that I made. Instead of buying black mist, I made my own. So if you guys want to see a tutorial on how I make my mist at home, just shoot me an email or leave me a comment and I'll show you guys how I make my own mist, because it's a lot cheaper. So that one, again, I just, took one of those card pieces and glued it to a regular card that I felt needed embellishing. And this is my big box of embellishments that you just saw me flip through. Any like sticker sheets or just any type of embellishment, I basically put in that box. And it's one of those things that things get buried in there and I forget to use them. So it was a really great way for me to dig some of that stuff out and use it. And I've been trying to use more of that stuff. Because like I said the other day in a different video, moving has really taught me how much junk I have in my whole life. But especially in scrapbooking, when you come down to it and move your whole scrapbooking room, you learn a lot about your habit. Let me tell you. So, this one I did basically just a copycat version of a card that I had seen on the Studio Calico blog featuring this stamp set. And I didn't really like the back of the card, so this was an easy one to just use the background and or use the back side of the card, and it just has like a subtle grid print, and it just makes the perfect filler card. So I pulled off it says you are, and then I think it says magic, or it says yes you are. So I just stamped this repeatedly and my lines weren't very straight, so I would definitely recommend going in with a ruler and doing some faint pencil lines and then stamping it out so it's more even. There, that's what I did. I just hand wrote it on this one. So, like I said, I'm just repeating the sentiment. And I start out fairly good and then it just gets kind of curved. But you know what, it's not that big of a deal. So I really like the way that card turned out for the most part. I really like that silver embossing powder, and I feel like I don't use embossing powder enough. So this is a dauber that I've had for a while and I just haven't used them very often, but I actually like the way that card came out. I thought the pink kind of looked a little bit like a mountain, and I just put some of that blue in there, and I wanted to put a hot air balloon, so I was kind of testing it out. Do I want the wood veneer? Do I want something else? But I went ahead and went with the wood veneer, and I'm really happy with the way that one turned out, because it does kind of look like it's floating in the sky. And the hot air balloon said hello on it, so that'll work for like a lot of different cards, or a lot of different layouts, I should say. So these are my chalkings that I always rave about, and I just put a little on that card and just stamped it as straight as possible on that 3x4 card, and it fits there perfectly. I think it originally came in a Project Life kit, but like I said, I had bought so many at once and just shuffled all the kits together, so I'm really not sure what kits I got, but I really like that stamp, and I'm glad I got to use it. I'm going to have to use it more. So basically, I would just tell you guys, if you're feeling like you don't have enough embellished cards, take the time to make up a bunch of them at once, because I found that was easier. I mean, I had so many ideas and I felt like I could have kept going, but this took me an hour, and I think I ended up making 13 cards. So I felt like that was a pretty good number for an hour's worth of time. And so I think next time I'll be even a little bit more organized about it and maybe choose like just 2 or 3 stamp sets and pull out the embellishments ahead of time so I'm not flipping through there like on camera. So I think a little time up front would save me a lot more time during the actual process of making the cards, because I would have things chosen, if that makes any sense. So I really liked the rub-ons. I'm a big rub-on fan, and I just think they're super cute. I love them all. And I think I'm really glad that rub-ons are more popular now with some of the more trendy companies. So I'm pretty excited about that. And that says, the card says something about like dreams do come true if you wish hard enough. And so I just thought the gold stars kind of reflected on that wishing theme or whatever. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be uploading more videos soon. So I'll see you soon. Thanks and have a great day.